Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I'm just on my way to go and see Ray. He's in a bad way. He's over at Gin Hospital. And he hasn't got very long to go. You know, which makes me think, you know, it's a good life, but it's, you know, it's a short life. You know, so, you know, making the best of it is probably the best we can do. You know, there's nothing you can do to avoid anything in this life. You know, we get hurt, we get used, we get abused. You know, that's life. Having to accept what we don't want to accept it's not an easy thing. Now, we grow up from day one, we are thrown into a little pit, you know, into a world with people that don't understand how to live, you know. They have no knowledge of how to control their own emotions, their own feelings. They've been programmed from day one from their parents and their parents before them. And, you know, that knowledge back then was, you know, what they knew. They didn't know any better. But lucky today, we're a little bit more informed. We can get some help if we want it. Sorry about my silence, but watching somebody die over a while isn't very comfortable. Yes, I can escape it. I can go and have a drink. I can go and take drugs. I can go and gamble. Now, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and I come home, it's all going to come back. Everything I do to avoid reality is going to go, and then I'm left with me, myself, my own mind. You know, for a long time, I thought I knew what life was all about. I had morals ingrained in my head. How to live. You know, my dad taught me, you know, that, you know, you're the man of the house. Don't worry about anybody else. You know? The truth is pretty much lost as you grow up. You avoid it. You learn to cope with what you have. And some of the things you pick up are not very healthy, but they do help. I spent a long time away from home when I was younger. Went to boys' homes, institutions. I can't explain why I did what I did when I was younger. It's just not explainable, you know, like It just happened. I wasn't, well, my behaviour wasn't very good. I was always a good person. I knew that deep down inside. But I was portrayed as, what you would say, juvenile, delinquent. What do? I hung on to a lot of different belief systems. You know, I was a Buddhist, I was a Catholic, I even lived with Muslims. And none of that really mattered, because all these people, they preached all this stuff, but their behaviour was way out of whack. You know, they talk about God, and they talk about how to live and the right way to live, and the next minute they're teaching you how to steal, how to sell drugs, and there's a lot of other stuff that I won't mention, because you're probably gonna freak out if I do. We all have dysfunctional lifestyles, especially around the home. None of these things really matter as you're growing up. You just, I think, become numb to what's going on around you. Family. Well, now I put up a lot of walls when I was younger. I didn't want to get hurt. So I never ever got close to anybody. My walls were pretty high. And I didn't even realise that I had walls, you know? I cannot remember a day, not one day, where you could say that I was happy in my heart. One day a counsellor asked me, can you remember anything that made you really happy? No. Tears started running down my eyes. I couldn't remember a happy moment in my life. I had friends, I had associates, I hung out with different groups. One person told me, you know, years ago, we used to call you Smiley. And I think, where the hell did I smile when I was younger, you know? I must have. But then again, we all put on that mask when we go out in public. Probably a mask that's worn so tight that you become that mask when you grow up. It's very hard to take that mask off. Drugs. Boy, let's talk about drugs. Yeah, I started off young with drugs. First alcohol, marijuana, barbiturates. Talk about pills. I didn't care what they were. I took them. Didn't even realise that I was avoiding reality. I was having fun. It was good. I was hallucinating, you know? Seeing things. And it was good to get away from the world for a while. And also, that became a way of life. A long time, I never knew what reality was. Drugs, the effects of drugs became my reality. I travelled around Australia. I'm sorry I'm driving if I'm not responding to your messages. It's pretty hard for me to read. But I will go through later on and I will talk and answer some of your messages. I'm not sure if you can hear me properly. You know, the mask was that ingrained and that tight that I had learned to put on as I grew up. I had 6 children, a wife, and I really thought that I was doing the right thing. I believed that I was a good father. But at the end of the day, that was not me. It was who? Society. It was who society has forged me to be. I was a product of my environment. And let me tell you, someone that tells you that you are not a product of your environment is lying. The environment you grow up in, the information you get, sticks in here, you know. My mind is like a computer. From day one, that mind was blank. There was nothing there. And whatever I program into this computer will never, ever be erased. We move on in life, yes. Those memories come back into your subconscious. They are no longer there. But they are in the background. They come out in your behaviour. They come out in the way you talk, the way you treat your children, the way you live with your family. You know? And we say, yeah, that's just me. The truth is, none of that is me. Everything that I was, everything that I said, everything that I did was implanted here by somebody else into this mind. How easy it is to be programmed today. Today is a lot worse. Today, most of the kids are schizophrenic. They don't know. Because their parents don't know. Because their parents' parents did not know. It hasn't been long that I've been clean. In 1999, it was probably one of the worst years in my life, and also one of the best. I woke up one morning, I had a business, family, buying a little house, you know. And I wake up and I get up and I'm looking for my wife, mate, and she was gone. Sorry about the connection, I'm driving, we lost the connection. Now me, at the time, blamed everything on my wife. She left me because of this. She left me because of that. I wasn't looking at the dysfunction. I wasn't looking at what I was doing. I wasn't looking at the drugs that I was taking. I wasn't looking at how I treated her. I didn't understand any of that. I was just a man bringing up my family. And I was only using whatever tools that I had. Only the knowledge that had been fed into this head of mine. Now, my heart broke. Literally snapped in two. My whole world collapsed around me. It was unbelievable. I went to my doctor, yeah? He was good. He put me from street drugs onto their drugs, yeah? And that was a lot worse. What do you do? I listened to him. I took him. Then, on top of that, I mixed other drugs, yeah? Poor me, poor me. I lost my family, I lost my kids. Somebody help. Help. Jesus Christ. Where was the help? Nothing. Drugs. I got really heavy into the drugs, trying to cope with my kids, yeah? Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. You know, they ended up taking the kids off me, you know, and I'm going off. I'm fucking flipping it. Sorry about the language. I'm flipping it. I'm going crazy. What are you taking my kids? Not understanding that I couldn't even fucking look after myself. Couldn't see that. Still blinded by the mask. Still blinded by the drugs. Wasn't. I went from my house, my business, my family, to living on the streets in Fortitude Valley. Still numb, still looking for help, still looking for answers. No answers. But you know what? I didn't care anymore. Nothing mattered. Nothing. All that mattered is that I got as much drugs and alcohol into my body. I didn't care if I was going to die. That would have been a bonus. Fuck yeah. But there was something deep down inside that kept me alive. I lived on the streets there for about 12 months. Sleeping behind shops, underneath steps, eating from food vans. Unbelievable. From being in control to out of control. but something special happened that year. Something that was life-changing. It wasn't until I fell and had nowhere else to go that finally, I was broken. There was no way I could go down any further than what I was. That was it. So you know what? You know, this guy came up, he said, look, you know, I got some baggies here, you know. A baggies are little plastic bags that they put the little white powder in, you know. And I was already drunk. I'd been hanging out under the bridge before the alcoholics, just doing my thing, drinking, getting rid of this, I found myself in an alley, pouring down rain. Me and my friend were there. Now, sorry if this is harsh, but it's the truth. You know, people don't like the truth. You know, and they are right. Now, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Now, I was in that alley, and I just wanted to wipe out. We're back again. Sorry, it's just keep cutting out. I just wanted to wipe out this memory. I wanted to erase the data. I don't really believe I wanted to die. Well, not consciously, anyway. So, my friend gave me this baggie, and it was mixed with all different sorts of drugs. I mixed it together, put it in a syringe, back again. Keeps cutting out. So I mix this thing up, and I'm trying to inject it into my arm. The syringe, then I couldn't get it in. The blood congealed inside. I couldn't get the drugs out into my body. I tell you what, something was protecting me that day. I tried again. I pushed it into my skin and it snapped, it broke. I got the syringe, threw it on the ground. It was no good to me anymore. Pouring down rain in the middle of Fortitude Valley. I just cried. I laid down and cried. Then I made my way to the Salvation Army men's shelter. They wouldn't take me in because I didn't pay my rent the last time I went there. So I had to sleep out of the front, you know. So I slept out the front, and the next morning I went inside. And the lady said to me, Are you sick and tired of going through all this stuff? I still did not understand that my life was a mess. I'd lost my family. I'd lost everything that I've had. I had a suitcase, a little bag, little sports bag, some clothes in it. And that was it. My whole worldly possessions in one bag. And she said to me, look, we'll let you in if you agree to go to a detoxification centre. And I said, well, what's that? Well, she said, oh, it's this place where you go, it's like a hospital, yeah? And they help you to come down off the drugs so you don't die, you know? So you can withdraw from the drugs. Well, that was the beginning. The beginning of my life. 39 years of age. 1999 was the year that I started to live. It was the year that I started to erase all the bullshit that was put into this head. The hardest thing in my life to do was to wipe out the old Sam. I had to eliminate what was in here. What was in here didn't get me anywhere. Got me onto the streets. Unbelievable. 39 years of age. Believing, yeah, I'm a man. Look at me. I work. I got this. Got a family. Got that. All added up to nothing. All of it, nothing. Reprogramming. I never wanted to face any of that stuff. I was a pretty good liar back in the day, eh? I was that good. Now, I believed my own lies. I made them my reality. As long as nobody didn't know the truth, that was okay. I remember my mum, God bless her soul. Sammy, my Sammy. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's a good boy. She's probably rolling over in a grave now. If she could see, which she probably could. She's probably up there now, rewinding the lives of her family. The truth. But we don't want to talk about that, do we? Not the truth. Holy shit. Remember I said, from day one, it's programmed in here. From day one. It's stored in your memory. There are a lot of things I can't even remember. Lots of things. there's things that I do, and I'm still embarrassed to talk about them. I wasn't a good man. I played up on my wife. I did a lot of things. But, men do that stuff. And society says, yeah, it's okay today. My culture tells me it's a man's world. Misinformation. What do? You don't know any better. I'm not going to preach to anybody today. Yeah? I'm not preaching nothing. I'm telling the truth. And that's all I'm doing. And the truth is that once you strip everything away, everything, there's nothing left. It took for me to focus on me to lose everything, because if there was something still there, I would focus on that and not be able to focus on the truth. So after losing everything, I got on my knees and I prayed. Nothing there, nothing there. To distract me from me. Nothing there to take me away from my feelings. Nothing there to take me away from my emotions. Nothing there to kill the pain. All I had left was myself. Now, I was in a rehabilitation centre by that time. And then they started talking about God. Oh, well, here we go. They're talking about God now. What are we going to do? I've been a Christian all my life. I prayed. I went to church. Had Holy Communion. Did all that stuff. Never ever felt God in my life. How's he going to help me now? How? It didn't help me when I went to church. It didn't help me when I went to Sunday school. It didn't help me when I said, God, get me out of a boys' home. It didn't help me when I said, bring back my family. He didn't help me take away the pain. But in that quiet time, I felt something. In the middle of all the pain, in the middle of all the confusion, in the middle of the numbness, I was numb. For some reason, I still felt comfort. There was something inside of me something there that was still holding me together. Growing up, yeah, I knew about God. I knew all the rituals. I knew you go to church. I knew you tithe. I knew you do all that stuff. But, again, I was only following sheep. The blind, leading the blind. It wasn't until I stripped away what I had learned. God does not take anything away. But you know what He does? He helps you to face reality. He knows in this world that you will get hurt. He knows in this world that you will feel pain. But He also knows that you can find comfort here on earth. How do I connect with this guy? How do I connect with him? Not in church. I do go to church, yeah. There's lots of people there. It's good to communicate with people. They tell me about what happens, but I never ever felt it. I started talking to God, you know. I had nothing else. I had nothing to lose. All I had was up. There was no more going down. That's it. I was on the rock bottom. No going down anymore. Yeah, I've been used. I've been abused. Trying to erase it doesn't work. It's like a computer. Now, God made this computer here, yeah? You know, I realised it's not what I do that's the problem. Doing bad things is not the problem. That's part of life. You learn that from other people. You cannot avoid that. What is the problem? I'll tell you the problem. The problem is denial. The problem is not owning the truth. The problem is avoiding the truth. Yes, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If I do not face the truth, if I don't face the truth, I'm a schizophrenic. What's the definition of schizophrenia? A loss of sense of self and loss of sense of reality. Yeah? Well, let me tell you, 90% of this world is schizophrenic. Facing the truth is the most liberating thing in the world. Yes. You know, I was wondering what kept me away from God, yeah? We all have a father, don't we? You know, we all got a father, and a mother, yeah? And then we look. I didn't realise why I was so distant. You know, we know we have a father, yeah? We know our father is there. We know he protects the family. But that's all we know. He's a father figure. Do we really know our father? How many times did you talk to your father and get a conversation? How many times did you say to your father, Dad, I did this. Can you help me with some guidance or something? No, we knew it all. I was very lucky out of my whole life to spend 3 days with my father. 3 days. Well, yes, and that's the same thing that I was doing with God. I knew about God. Everybody talks about God. Even the people that don't believe in God talk about God. Well, what do you know? There must be something in this, you know? But what I was doing was, my relationship with God was no different than my relationship with my father. I never talked to him. I never communicated. I never told him how much I was hurting. He knew the truth. I didn't have to tell him, but he wanted me to tell him. But no. Up here, Sam knows it all. Yeah, fuck yeah, he knows it all. But anyway, I started to form this relationship. I started to put trust in somebody that I don't know. And as soon as I started to become vulnerable, I asked for help, and I got help. And a lot of times, people don't understand. You know, God works through people. He works through people. He don't care who it is. He'll bring me help. But sometimes we pray that, and we pray, and we say, God help me. Yeah? God help. And then we tell him what we want. And we don't trust him. You know why we don't trust him? Because we ask for what we want. And then as soon as we finish praying, we start worrying about what we prayed for. Like we're not going to get it. God, protect my children. And then I go and worry. And then I think, well, I'm going to go and have a drink. Or I'm going to go and get stoned because I can't handle the pressure. Or I'm going to go and rescue my children. But that's not what God wanted me to do. God said, hey, get out of here. Sit down here. Have a look at yourself. How can you help them if you can't help yourself? Let me look after them. Let me look after them. While you look after you. Then you can be healthy enough. Then you can be fit enough. Find your way before you try and guide your children. Otherwise, it's the blind leading the blind again. What do? Pain? Yes. Not physical pain. Emotional pain. It doesn't kill anyone. Why are we so scared of it? Don't kill no one. But it's the fear of not knowing what's on the other side of that pain. At the end of the day, name one person that has died from feeling their emotions, feeling their feelings, facing the truth, and coming out the other side. Now, I'm going to go back. You know, I read the Bible, yeah. You ever heard of Adam and Eve? Yeah, they're pretty cool, eh? They got booted out of the garden. And the big mistake is people don't understand why they got booted out of the garden. They didn't get booted out of the garden because they sinned. They got booted out of the garden because they denied their sin. Because God knows if you don't face the truth, you can't fix the problem. You cannot fix the problem if you don't face the truth. Well, he said to Adam, why did you eat the apple? Yeah? Adam, why did you eat the apple? Adam said, well, Eve made me do it. He didn't tell the truth. He didn't say, I ate the apple. Sorry, God, I ate the apple. No. He said, Eve made me eat the apple. And then he said to Eve, Eve. He said, why did you make him eat the apple? Oh, I didn't do it. The snake made me do it. The snake made me eat the apple. So, nobody told the truth. It had nothing to do with the sin. It had to do with the denial of the sin. You know? When I deny what I do, when I avoid reality, when I don't face the truth, I'm living a lie. And that's probably the biggest damage that I could do to myself. Not to anybody else. Nobody else feels the damage that I do to me. Not my children, not my wife, not my family, not the guy next door, you know. I feel it. It's killing me, nobody else. And then Jesus came along. Yeah? And what did he say? He said, confess your sin. Yeah, he said, confess. Go and tell it to another man. Don't hide it anymore. Tell somebody. You know, it's funny. You talk to somebody, you get it off your chest. It's in here. And when it's in there, it causes a lot of trouble. Because the thoughts that are in here, if I don't get them out of here, they start spinning around. I start believing them whether they're good or bad, and I become schizophrenic. Why do people hear voices? Because they don't do this. They do this. Round and round and round inside. No thoughts coming out. I start to believe what I think. Because I'm no longer in reality. Now, I can become schizophrenic. So by facing the truth, I'm able then to process what's happened in my life. I'm able to say, well, okay, I can fix this, yeah? But this is broken, I can't fix that. So how can I live with it? And that's where life started to begin. But anyway, I'm sorry, folks, I've got to cut you off. I'm in Gingy now. I've got to go to the hospital and see Ray. Now, hello, Tyler. I'm not embarrassed about what I'm saying. I'll get back on here later on and I'll let you know more. But I think the truth be known, if the truth don't come out, there ain't nothing in this world going to help anybody. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that they have something inside. Everybody knows that that thing that you do not look at. I will, Jesse. I'll send my love to Ray. I hope he goes peacefully. I love you too, sweetheart. Everybody has this little thing. Everybody hides it. But you know what? Once you face that little thing, you can either fix it. If you can't fix it, you can learn to readjust your life to live around that thing. And then you can go to the next thing. But anyway, that's enough for now. I love you all. And I'll catch up with you later and we'll take off from where we left off today. Goodbye.